त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पतान् शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनं श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुस्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्म उपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्यां मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत्। अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मेस्तु तदात्मनिरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dear friends, we have read this fourth mantra in the last class. That is fourth mantra of part 3 of Kenopanishad. That is the gods, that is Indra, Agni, Vayu, they see some huge figure in the sky and then they want to know what it is. So and then they ask this Agni to go. So now this Agni has gone. Agni, we saw this introduction to Agni. Agni is otherwise called Jataveda. He is a man from whom all knowledge flows. Vedanani Jatani Yasmat. So Sa Jatavedaha. All this knowledge flows from him. He is such an omniscient, relatively omniscient, not absolute omniscient. So he is such a wise man. So he is also supposed to be the Purohit of gods. So he rushed forward. And then he went, but then he was awestruck. He could not speak anything to that mighty figure. And then that figure itself questioned him. Kositi. We read this mantra. Tadabhyadravat tamabhyavadat kositi agnirva hamasmityabravid jataveda hamasmiti. We read that line. So tam abhyadravat. He rushed towards it. And then tam abhyavadat, that particular figure, it addressed this gentleman. Who are you? Kositi. Agnirva hamasmi. Then this man picked up some courage and then he said, Agnirva hamasmi. I am indeed Agni. Agnirva. Va means why. That is Sanskrit why, not English why. Agnihi why. That is indeed I am Agni. Don't you know that? So that is that sort of mode. Then Abravit. Jataveda va hamasmi. I am also called Jataveda. That is a very learned man, very wise man. So I am like that. Then this mantra we read. Let us read the bhashyam. Tathastu iti. Tathastu iti. Tad yaksham. Tad yaksham. Abhyadravat. Abhyadravat. Tat prati gatavan agnihi. Tat prati gatavan agnihi. Tamcha gatavantam. Tamcha gatavantam. Pipruchishum. 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 You got it? Not yet. Locate, please locate. Fourth mantra. Fourth mantra actually, starting from here. Evam brahmana prushtaha agnirabravit. Evam brahmana prushtaha agnirabravit. Oh, that above line. One line above that. Agni was directed by these gods to go there. Anyway, I will read. You can repeat. Pipruchishum tat samipe apragalbhatvat tushnim bhutam tad yaksham tad yaksham abhyavadat agnim prati abhashata kositi. Okay, so when gods they directed him, requested rather, okay, you please go and find out what it was. He said tathastu. Okay, may it be so. Tatha astu, let it be so. Then, iti, tad yaksham abhyadravat, towards that yaksha. Tad yaksham abhi means abhimukham, towards that. Adravat, he ran, he rushed. Abhyadravat, tat prati gatavan, he went, he approached that. Then, tamcha gatavantam, we read it. Tamcha gatavantam, pipruchishum. Piprucha means the desire to ask. Prashtum icha. Prashna we know. Prashna is questioning. Prashtum icha is Piprucha. So Pipruchishum. So Tat Samipe Apragalbhatva to Tushnim Bhutam. So he wanted to ask something, but then in the presence of that mighty being, this man he became Apragalbha. Apragalbha means all his words they failed. Apragalbha, he could not utter, he could not raise his voice. Apragalbha. Pragalbha is one who can talk very, very fluently, very aggressively, very assertively. Apragalbha means a person who cannot talk assertively. A person who cannot talk, not that he cannot talk at all, he cannot talk aggressively, assertively. So that is Apragalbha. Pragalbha is one who can talk very assertively. So this man, he became Apragalbha. So Apragalbhatvat Tushnim Bhutaha. So he also became silent. This Agni, he became Apragalbha, he became silent. Then Tad Yaksham Abhyavadat. Tad Yaksham, that particular Yaksha, that particular appearance, Abhyavadat, he told like this. Agnim Prati, towards Agni, what did he say? Abhashata Kositi. Okay, who are you? Then Evam Brahmana Prushtaha.
Evam Brahmana Prushtaha.
So from there you have got, yes. Okay, Agnihi Abravit.
Agnihi Abravit.
Agnirva.
Agnirva.
Agninama Aham Prasiddhaha.
Agninama Aham Prasiddhaha.
Jataveda iti cha.
Jataveda iti cha.
Namadvayena Prasiddhaha. Prasiddhataya.
Namadvayena Prasiddhataya.
Atmanam Shlaghayan iti.
Atmanam Shlaghayan iti.
Okay. So this man said, Evam Brahmana Prushtaha. So when he was asked by Brahma like that, in that manner he was asked, when he was questioned by Brahma like that, then Agnihi Abravit, Agni told. What? Agnirva, Agnirnama Ham Prasiddhaha. Why means Prasiddharthakam. It is well known. Samskrita Vai means it is well known. Agnirva, Agninama Ham Prasiddhaha. I am very well known. I am indeed well known in the world as Agni. Then Jataveda Itisha. I am also known as a very, very wise man. Jataveda Itisha. Namadvayena Prasiddhataya. Because I am so famous with these two names. So and then in that manner, Atmanam Shlaghayan. Shlaghayan means praising oneself. He was just about talking big about oneself. Atmanam Shlaghayan, just praising himself or complimenting himself or boasting about himself. He told like that. Then the next mantra is again a question by that Brahma, that particular Yaksham. Yaksham is that particular mighty form which appeared in front of him. So Tasmin Stvai Kim Viryamiti.
Tasmin Stvai Kim
Tvai means in you. Tvai. Tasmin Stvai. Here again that G Shabda also is there. Tasmin Svai Kim Viryamiti. Kim Viryamiti. Apidam Sarvam Daheyam. Yadidam Pruthivyamiti. So again this mighty being, he asked, Tasmin Stvai Kim Viryam. Okay, you are describing yourself as in two names, Agni and Jataveda. So in such Tasmin Stvai, Tvai means in you. Tasmin Stvai means you are describing yourself as Jataveda, you are describing yourself as Agni. So in such a person like you, Tasmin, in such a person like you, Kim Viryam, what is your strength? What exactly is your strength? Iti. Then he said, Api idam sarvam daheyam. That is, idam sarvam api. This api has to be brought out. Api is idam sarvam api. All this thing, daheyam, I am capable of burning. I can burn. Idam sarvam api daheyam. I can burn everything. Yadidam pruthivyam iti. Yadidam pruthivyam. All that which is there on earth. Yat idam pruthivyam. Pruthivyam is on earth. Whatever is there on earth, I can burn. So that is what he said. So evam uktavantam. Brahma avochat. Tasmin evam prasiddha gunanamavati tvai.
Tasmin evam prasiddha gunanamavati tvai.
Kim viryam samarthyam iti.
Kim viryam samarthyam iti.
So abravit. Idam jagat sarvam daheyam.
Idam jagat sarvam daheyam.
Bhasmi kuryam. Yadidam sthavaradi pruthivyam iti.
Yadidam sthavaradi pruthivyam iti.
Pruthivyam iti upalakshanartham.
Pruthivyam iti upalakshanartham.
Yataha antarikshasthamapi dahyate eva agnina.
Antarikshasthamapi dahyatyeva agnina.
Okay, dahyate eva agnina. Okay. So, eva muktavantam, Brahma avochat. So, when this Agni told like that, I can burn everything which is there on earth, then Brahma avochat. Brahma told like this. Tasmin. Tasmin means in that. Tasmin literally means in that. In that person, evam tvai, tasmin svai. When you are describing yourself, in that you, in that you, that is literally it means. So tasmin means evam prasiddha gunanamavati tvai. You are praising yourself with these famous names, prasiddha guna nama. You are telling about your characteristics, you are telling about your shakti and all that. You have a mighty name. So in you, kim viryam samarthyam, what is your ability? Then saha abravit, he said, idam jagat sarvam daheyam. I can bhasmi kuriyam, I can turn it into ashes. Bhasmi kuriyam means bhasma, ash. I can turn everything into ashes. Sthavaradi pruthivyam, everything, whatever is standing on earth. Sthavaram means whatever is standing on earth, everything, I can burn it off. Then pruthivyam iti upalashyanartham. When this word pruthivyam literal is actually, it is an upalashyanam. Upalashyanam means it not only suggests things which are there on earth, but those which are above also, even in those in the antariksham. Agni can burn not only those which are on earth, Agni can burn even those which are in the sky. Everywhere, whatever is there, everywhere Agni can burn. So Agni iti upalashyanartham, it basically it suggests that it is capable of burning anything which is there anywhere. Yataha, because antarikshasthamapi dahyate eva agnina. Even that which is there in antariksha, that can be burnt by this Agni. So that is it. Then tasmai trunam nidadhave taddaheti.
Tasmai trunam nidadhave taddaheti.
Tadupapreyaya sarvajavena.
Tadupapreyaya sarvajavena.
Tannashashaka dagdhum. Satata eva nivavrute. Naitadashakam vijñātum yade tadyakṣamiti. Fine. Tasmai trunam nidadhau yetat daha iti. Nidadhau plus etat. This first line is tasmai trunam nidadhavetat daheti. Nidadhavetat is nidadhau yetat daha iti. So you have to break like that. Tasmai, that means to that person. Trunam nidadhau. Trunam means just a blade of grass. Nidadhau. So that Brahman kept a blade of grass there. Nidadhau means it placed it there. Nidadhau. Dadhati dhatu. That is placing something somewhere. Nidadhau. That is it kept it there. Then said, Etat daha. Okay, then you please show this, you show your strength, you please burn it. So it said, Etat daha iti. Then tadupapreyaya sarvajavena. Then this Agni, he went to that with all speed. Sarvajavena. Java means speed. We also use the word javasatvalu. Java means strength, fastness, swiftness. So he upapreyaya, he approached it. Upapreyaya, that is he approached it, sarvajavena, with all speed. Then tat na shashaka dagdhum. Tat dagdhum na shashaka. He was unable to burn it. Then, out of a sense of shame, saha means that Agni, tatayeva nivavrute. He just returned from there. Tatayeva, from there, nivavrute. Nivruti, that is getting back. Nivavrute, he just returned. Then he told, na etad ashakam vijñātum, aham vijñātum ashakam. That is, I was unable to know. Aham etad jñātum vijñātum ashakam. I was unable to know what this yaksham, what this mighty appearance is. Yad etad yakshamiti. I was unable to know. Then tasmai evam abhimanavate. Brahma trunam nidadhau. Pura agre sthapitavat. Brahmana etat trunamatram mama agratah daha. Na chedasi dagdhum samarthaha. Muncha dagdhrutvaabhimanam sarvatra. Dagdhrutvaabhimanam sarvatra. Ityuktaha tat trunam upapreyaya. Truna samipam gatavan. Sarvajavena sarvotsaha krutena vegena. Gatva tat na shashaka na ashakat dagdhum. Okay, so now we'll see tasmai, to that gentleman, evam abhimanavate. to that gentleman who was having such great pride in himself. Abhimanavan is one who is having a pride in oneself. Abhimana is self-esteem, pride. That I am capable of this. That Abhimana actually means that pride. So Abhimanavate, one who is proud of one's own achievements, to that person, Brahma Trunam Nidadhau. It placed one small blade of grass, Pura Agre Sthapitavat. Pura means in front of this Agni, it kept. And then said, okay, Etat Trunamatram Mama Agrataha Daha. Okay, Mama Agrataha means in front of me, in my presence. Okay, let me see, let me physically witness your might. In my presence, you please eat this Trunamatram, this particular blade of grass, you please burn it. Nachedasi Dagdhum Samarthaha. If you are not capable of burning this thing, then Muncha Dagdhrutva Abhimanam Sarvatra. Then you please give up your sense of self-esteem that you are capable of burning everything everywhere. So you muncha. Muncha means you leave it. You give up. You give up. Muncha. Munchati. Muncha we know dhatu. Muncha, in fact, moksha dhatu also is from the moksha word also is from the same dhatu. Muncha. Muncha means you leave it. You abandon. You give up. You forget about it. Dagdhrutva bhimanam sarvatra. You forget about your dagdhrutva bhimanam. You forget about your self-esteem. You give up all your pride and tuck your tail and then go away. So that is it, tuck your tail and go back. Then Gatva Tat Nashashaka. Then this man Agni went forward. Tat Na Ashakat Dagdhum. He was unable to burn it. Then Sajata Vedaha Trunam Dagdhum Ashaktaha.
Excuse me, we missed one line.
One more line is there.
Tatrunam Upapreyaya.
Okay, Tatu Trunam Upapreyaya. Okay, Tatu Trunam Upapreyaya means he went towards that Upapreyaya. Truna Samipam Gatavan. He went towards that Truna Samipam. Truna Samipam means close to that Trunam he went, and also Sarva Javena, Sarva Utsaha Krutena Vegena. With all enthusiasm, Utsaha is enthusiasm. Utsaha Krutena Vegena. With all that enthusiasm and speed he went and approached that, he touched that thing, but he could not burn it. Then Gatva Tuna Shashaka Dagdhum. He was unable to burn it. Then Sajata Vedaha Trunam Dagdhum Ashaktaha Vriditaha Hata Pratignaha Hata Pratignaha. Actually, your book says Pragnya. It doesn't matter. Okay. Then Tatayeva Yakshadeva Tushnim Devan Prati Nivavrute Nivruttaha Pratigatavan Na Etad Yaksham Ashakam Shaktavan Aham Vignatum Visheshataha Yad Etad Yakshamiti. So then this Jataveda, this man who is a wise man, supposed to be a wise man among gods, Trunam Dagdhum Ashaktaha, incapable of burning that small blade of grass. Then Vriditaha. Vrida means sense of shame. Vrida, of course, it is used in some positive sense also. Positive sense means Vrida. A young girl looks at the young bridegroom looks at the bridegroom, and then she has that sense of modesty. So that modesty is also called Vrida. Siggu, what we say. So that modesty. So sometimes that is depending on the context. But here Vriditaha. So he felt rather ashamed. So here it is a sense of shame. It is not that sort of modesty which a very junior man feels before a very, very senior man, or a very small student feels before a mighty professor. Not like that, not that sort of modesty. But this is here it is a sense of shame. Vriditaha, because that is a person who felt that shame. Then Hata Pratignaha. Hata Pratignaha, he made an assertion. He earlier made Pratigna. Pratigna means an assertion. Basically a statement. An assertive statement rather. An assertion he made. What? I can burn anything which is there on earth. So here now, his assertion has failed. Hata Pratigna. Hata means it is gone. In fact, it is Hata literally means killed or attacked, hurt. Say it has failed, let us say. His assertion has failed. Hata Pratigna. Then Tatayeva Yakshadeva, from that Yaksha, Tushnim Devan Pratinivavrute. This Tushnim, just silently, he returned towards the gods. And then he said, Na Etad Yaksham Ashakam Shaktavanam. So I was unable to say no Vijñatum, that is Visheshatah Jnatum. I was just unable to know who this man was, what this entity is. This Yaksha, we do not know, it is not given any name, no name has been given to that, and that also has been referred to in the neuter gender. This Yaksham, this particular appearance, I am unable to know what it is. So that is how he returned to gods with a sense of shame. Then the gods, they said, the next man in line was Vayu, Indra, Vayu and Agni, these three people. So these are supposed to be the mighty people, isn't it? So then let us read, Athavayum Abruvan Vayave Tadvijani Hiti Iti, okay, Iti is not there. Vayave Tadvijani Kime Tadyaksham Tatheti. So then Atha means thereafter. When once this Agni has failed, then Vayum Abruvan. To that Vayu, Devaha Abruvan. This Devas, they told him, what? Vayavetad Vijanihi. Vayo plus Etad becomes Vayavetad. That Sandhi, Vayavetad Vijanihi. You can write down also. Hey Vayo, Etad Vijanihi. Vayo plus Etad becomes Vayavetad. Vayo etad vijanihi. Hey Vayo, oh Vayu, you please know, you please go and ascertain. Etad vijanihi means you please ascertain what it is. Kim etad yakshamiti, what this mighty being is. Then he said tatheti. Okay. Then tam abhyadravat. Tam abhyavadat kositi. Vayurva hamasmiti. Aham asmitya bravit. Matarishva va aham asmiti. You got it or not?
I got it, but this one line Bhashyam is there.
What is that? What does it say? Okay, that we are going to, after 7 and 10, all in one go it is coming. Okay, then tam abhyavadat. Then towards that, the same thing which we saw in the earlier thing. Tam abhyadravat, he ran towards it. Tam abhyavadat, we have to presume here also that this man went and then he was dumbstruck. He was unable to open his mouth. Then that Yaksham itself questioned this gentleman, who are you? Tam abhyavadat. Abhyavadat means that Yaksham abhyavadat. That Yaksham spoke to this chap. Kositi, who are you? Then this man said, Vayurva hamasmiti. I am indeed that Vayu. I am the well-known Vayu. Vayurva means that well-known. Vai Shabda is well-known. So that is prachuryarthe. Not prachuryarthe, that is, it is well-known. So in that sense. So ahamasmiti, Vayurva hamasmita bravit. He also described himself with one more thing. Aham matarishva hamasmiti. Matarishva means one who moves in the sky, antariksha. Matari means antarikshe shvayati iti matarishva. Of course, we are going to see that thing in Shankara Bhashyam also. Matarishva, antarikshe shvayati, one who moves in this space. So he is that Matarishva. So I am such a mighty person. So then he said, then tasmin stvayikim viryamiti.
Tasmin stvayikim viryamiti.
Apidam sarvam adadiya.
Apidam sarvam adadiya.
Yadidam pruthivyamiti.
Yadidam pruthivyamiti.
So then that mighty being asked, Tasmin stvayikim viryam. Okay, you are describing yourself in this manner. Okay, in such a person, in such a mighty person like you, what is the viryam? What is the strength you have? Then he said, Apidam sarvam adadiya. Idam sarvam api. That api has to be again brought to after this sarvam. Idam sarvam api. All this thing, what all you can see, I can lift, I can hold, I can throw, I can do whatever I like, whatever I want to do. So because Vayu is supposed to be the god of strength also. Vayu Deva is supposed to be the god of strength. And Vayu Deva is the father of Hanuman also. Vayu Deva is the father of Bhima also. So then in fact this Madhva Sampradaya people, this Madhvacharya, he is said to be the reincarnation of say Bhima or Hanuman. So they say that I am not very sure what they say, whether it is reincarnation of Vayu or reincarnation of Hanuman, but then they say that Madhvacharya is a reincarnation of that Vayu. So such a mighty person. So here Vayu is he is the one who is capable of uprooting the trees, the big winds which they come. They can even uproot the trees, they can throw away big, say, mighty things. So Vayu can be so powerful. So that is what he said. Sarvamapi, idam sarvamapi adadiya. I can take it. Adadiya means I can hold it. I can hold it. Not only hold it, I can throw it, I can do whatever I want. Adadiya, yadidam pruthivyamiti. Whatever is there on earth, I can take it out, I can pluck it out, I can throw anywhere. So that's why what he said. Then that Yaksham told like this. Tasmai trunam nidadhave tadadat sveti.
Tasmai trunam nidadhave tadadat sveti.
Tadupapreyaya sarvajavena.
Tadupapreyaya sarvajavena.
Tanna shashaka adatum.
Tanna shashaka adatum.
We can read it fully instead of breaking it. Tanna shashaka adatum.
Tanna shashaka adatum.
Without nashashaka adatum.
Tanna shashaka adatum.
Satatayeva nivavrute.
Satatayeva nivavrute.
Naitadashakam vijñatum yade tadyakshamiti. Okay, then in a similar manner, whatever that Yaksha had done to Indra, not Indra, that Agni earlier, he did the same to Vayu also. That particular entity, it placed a, say, blade of grass in front of it, this Vayu. Okay, oh mighty man, you please lift this blade of grass. So, Trunam nidadau, etad adatsva. You please take it up. Etad adatsva. You must have seen this story, you must have read this story where Bhima, once all these Pandavas, when they were in the forest, they were moving in the Himalayan mountains. There he sees Lord Hanuman. Lord Hanuman is seen not in his original shape, but he is seen in a different form, like an old monkey, very lazily sitting somewhere, and then with a tail, which is spread across the road. And then this Bhima, this mighty Bhima, he says he doesn't want to cross the tail, because crossing a tail is something which is not very great on the part of a mighty man. So he says, okay, take back your tail. I am too old to take back my tail, you please lift it. Then this man tries to push it off. So he can't move it. Then he tries to hold it with one hand, he can't do anything. He tries to hold with both hands and then tries his best, but he can't lift the tail of that Hanuman. So we have seen that story. So it is something similar here also, where that Trunam nidadhau etad adasveti. Then this man, this Vayu, approached with all speed, upreyaya sarvajavena. Then he could not lift it. Tan nashashaka adatum. He could not hold it. Basically lifting means he has to first of all hold it and lift it. So he couldn't do that. Then sa tatayeva nivarute. Then this man also, out of sense of shame, he also returned to gods. Then he said, okay, I am unable to know what this yaksham is. So let us read the bhashyam. Atha anantaram Vayum abruvan He Vayo etad vijanihi Ityadi samanartham purvena. Okay, Vayum, they said, when he said Vayu, He Vayu etad vijanihi. Oh Vayu, you find out what it is. All this, the explanation is like the earlier mantra. So that's what Shankaracharya is saying. Then he is giving the meaning for Vayu. Vanat gamanat gandhanadva Vayuhu. So the meaning, the derivative, the etymological meaning of Vayu is Vati iti Vayuhu. Vati means it moves. Vayu is always moving. Vati, Gamanat, Va dhatu, it also means Gamanam, that is moving, it keeps on moving. Then Gandhanatva, it also carries Gandha, it carries fragrance. So that is why it is called Vayu. Gamanat, Gandhanadva, Vayuhu. So then Matari antarikshe svayati iti matarishva.
Matari antarikshe svayati iti matarishva.
So Matari antariksha. Antariksha means that inner space between the earth and the, say, heavens. Heaven is something which is also visualized in, say, this thing, isn't it? That is called Devaloka. So between this Bhuloka and Devaloka, whatever is that intermediate thing, it is called Antariksha, that intermediate space. So we come across three things: Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Swaha. In fact, if you see the gods also here, we have seen Agni. Agni is supposed to be the god of earth. Agni is supposed to be the god of earth. Then Antariksha, this Vayu is supposed to be the god of Antariksha. Antariksha Devatalu, Bhudevatas, Antariksha Devatas, and also the heavenly gods. So three levels. That heavenly level is Indra, we are going to find. So Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha. So from that angle also we have to see. So this Brahman is something which is Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha. So that is also we have to see. In fact, we can also see that say there are three types of gods. Earlier in one class I was telling about what exactly does the word 33 crore, 33 koti devatas mean. 33 koti. Koti does not mean 1 crore. 1 crore means 10 million. 1 koti does not mean 10 million. So here koti means one category, one class. So this Bhumi, all these the so-called deities, all god forms which have been identified by our ancients on earth, they are called the Vasus. And these Vasus, Vasayati iti Vasuhu, because they are the people who enable us to live. So from that point of view, all these Vasudevatas, how many are there? Ashta Vasavaha, 8 Vasus are there. Then this Antariksha Devatas, they are called Adityas. All these Aditya, the sun, all the wind god, all these things, they are called the Adityas, Antariksha Devatas. So they are what are called Rudras, Vasu, Rudra. Then say Vasu, Rudra, Vasu, Aditya, Vasu Adityas. These are all the Dvadasha Adityas. Then Rudras. Rudras are the heavenly gods. So those people are different. Then these are this 8 plus 12 plus 11, they become 31. Then added to that is Indra and Prajapati. So all these three, 31 plus 2 become 33. So these are the 33 types of gods which are conceived in this Vedic framework. If we see the whole Vedic framework, in fact in Chandogya Upanishad I was reading yesterday, Chandogya Upanishad also, this Vasu, Rudra, Aditya categorization is there. So 3 levels of gods. So that is why in Telugu we call it Mukkoti Devatalu. Or sometimes we say 33 crore Devatas. It is not 33 crore, it is 33 categories. So this 33 has been reduced to 3 because in one group there are 8, one group there are 12, one group there are 11, so like that. So we have to see that this Brahman, this absolute reality is something which is beyond all this, beyond what we call Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Swaha. So that is what we have to see. So here, Antarikshe Swayati iti Matarishva. This which is moving in this intermediate space is called Matarishva. Then Idam Sarvamapi Adadiya. All this thing Aham Grunhiyam. Grunhiyam means I am capable of taking it up. I can hold it. Yadidam Prithiviyam Ityadi Samana Meva. So all this interpretation is similar to the previous mantra. Then when Agni also, this Vayu also failed, then what do? Then the gods, they turn towards Indra. Indra, you are the boss, you please go. We are unable to do anything with this. So you please go and find out. Athendra Mabruvan Maghavanne Tadvijanihi Kime Tadyakshamiti Tatheti Tadabhyadravat Tasmat Tirodadhe. Okay, so Indra again faces he has his quota of shame. So Atha Indram Abruvan. These gods, Devas, Indram Abruvan. So they told this Indra like this. Hey, what? Hey Maghavan. Indra's name is Maghavan. Indro, Marutvan, Maghavan, Bidau, Jahpa, Kashasanahi. There are so many names for Indra. If you read Amarakosha, you get all these synonyms. Indraha, Marutvan, Maghavan, Bidau, Jahpa, Kashasanaha, Vruddhashravas, Shunasirah, Puruhutah, Purandaraha, etc., etc. There are so many names for this gentleman, Indra. So this Indram Abruvan, hey Maghavan. Maghavan means, Magha actually means Yajna. Maghavan is somebody who has performed so many yajnas. The address, the Sambodhana for that is Maghavan. Hey Maghavan, oh great one who have performed so many yajnas. Indra is also called Shatakratu. That is, he has performed 100 yajnas. If you perform 100 yajnas, you can become Indra. So that was the thing. 100 yajnas means a particular standard yajna, not everyday Chandi Yagam. Chandi Yagam you can do and you can't demand to be Indra. Anyway, so he is one who has performed so many yajnas, and then he has reached that, not only reached that Devaloka, he has become the boss of all these gods. So such a great man. Hey Maghavan, etad vijanihi kimedad yashamiti. You please find out what this thing. So then this man also said tatheti. Yes, okay. Then tadabhyadravat, he rushed to that. Tasmat tirodadhe. That particular entity, it just withdrew. Tirodadhe. It first appeared, but then it withdrew. Then the way why it withdrew, the interpretation is that Indra was the one who was more who had a greater ego. The Agni and Vayu, they had less ego. So at least that particular entity, it gave them some audience, and then at least it spoke to them. Indra, because this man is having a greater ego, it wanted to subdue that mighty entity. It wanted to subdue this man's ego. Okay, I will teach him a lesson. So he did not even grant an interview. So it is like that. So somebody goes and at least that somebody gives an interview. Whereas this Indra goes and then that entity has not even given an interview. So the meaning, the explanation given is, the greater the ego, the less is the divine grace. If you have a less ego, there is at least some element of divine grace. If you have very great ego, then there is less the divine grace. So that is the explanation which is given here. Let us read. Athendra Mabruvan Maghavan etad vijanihi ityadi purvavat. So all this explanation is like earlier. Then Indraha Parameshwaro Maghava Balavatvat Tatheti Tam Abhyadravat. So you see how Shankaracharya also writes about Indra, because Indra is not a comic character as we see now in our cinemas, in all our modern films. So Indra is represented as a sort of comic fellow. So suppose somebody is doing some tapas, then Indra calls some Rambha and then sends that Rambha. He is literally shivering, that Indra is literally shivering. So Indra is not such a character. Indra, if you see the Vedic literature, he is depicted as a very mighty, powerful entity there. So we have forgotten all that and we have reduced that Indra to a comic character. Similarly, Yamadharmaraja is another thing. Yama is the god of wisdom. He is the controller of this whole, this system, whatever is that, the dharma, whatever is the universal law. He is the controller, he is the implementer of that universal law. And then we have made him a comic character in our movies. So we have to forget our movies, we have to forget our Telugu films, and then we have to read what exactly the book says. So Indraha Parameshwara, not in that supreme sense, but in a relative sense. In a relative sense, he is also a very great man. Then Maghavan, Maghava is Maghavan. That is one who has performed 100 yajnas. Then Balavatvat Tatha iti tam abhyadravat. Because of the confidence in his own strength, Balavatvat, because of the confidence in his own strength, he moved ahead. Then Tasmat Indrat Mat Samipam Indrat Atma Samipam Gatat Tad Brahma Tirodadhe Tirobhutam. Okay, Tasmat Indrat Atma Samipam Gatat. So then from that Indra, who approached this Atman? So Shankaracharya is giving a hint now that whatever yaksham which appeared in front of him is this Atma. So this Indra, when he went towards there, Tad Brahma Tirodadhe, that Atma or otherwise Brahma, Tirodadhe, it Tirobhutam, it withdrew. Then Indrasya Indratva Atitaram Nirakartavyah iti Ityatah Samvadamatram Na Adat Brahma Indraya. Okay. So Indrasya Indratva Bhimanaha Atitaram. this man, Indra, is having that Indratvabhimana, the pride that I am holding this post of Indra, Indratvabhimana. So, the beautiful expression, that is, I am holding this post called Indra. So, that Indratvabhimana, so this pride in his being that in that position. So, that has to be, that is Atitaram, it is too much, Atitaram, he is having too much of his, too much of that pride. So, that Nirakartavyaha, so that has to be, say, controlled, that has to be driven away, that pride has to be taken away, Nirakartavyaha, Ityataha, Samvada matramapi na adat. So that Brahma did not even grant an interview. Samvada, we know, Samvada is at least discussion. Samvada, the discussion between a teacher and a student, that is called Samvada. So this Samvada matramapi na adat. So he did not even grant an interview to this. So Brahma Indraya. Then Sa tasminneva akashe striyama jagama. Sa tasminneva akashe.
Satasminneva akashe.
That is the next mantra. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Striyama jagama.
Striyamaya gama.
Bahushobhamanam umam haimavatim.
Bahushobhamanam umam haimavatim.
Tam hova chakime tadyakshamiti.
Tam hova chakime tadyakshamiti.
Okay. So, sa tasminneva akashe. Saha means that Indra. We are now talking about Indra. What is happening to this chap? Tasminneva akashe, in that akasha itself, in that space itself, striyam ajagama. So this man, we have to presume, Shankaracharya is giving an explanation also, that this Vayu and Agni, they just went, they returned. So Indra, he went, he just saw that, but then that did not grant an interview. Then he also felt ashamed, and then he sat there and then he started meditating. That is what Shankaracharya is giving a small explanation there. So he sat there meditating as to what it is. So then we have to presume that his pride also, it got subdued. His ego, it got subdued. So the basic lesson here is, the greater your ego, the lesser is the grace, the less is the grace, divine grace. So that is the basic point. And related to the first questions which we saw in the first khanda, that is, what is this? Keneshitam patati preshitam manaha, kena pranah prathama praiti yuktaha. So that is, the answer given was shrotrasya shrotram, chakshushas chakshuhu, manasasya manaso manaha, etc., etc. So what is that for? What is that thing which is behind all my senses, all my indriyas, all my mind, etc., etc.? So that knowledge, Indra is supposed to know. Indra is the god, he is the mightiest man among the gods. He is supposed to know. Then this man, he started thinking about that. What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? So his sense of ego got subdued. So that is what we see in the commentary. So then, tad yaksham. Yasmin akashe. Akasha pradeshe atmanam darshayitva tirobhutam.
Akasha pradeshe atmanam darshayitva tirobhutam.
Indrascha brahmanaha tirodhana kale. Yasmin akashe asit. Sa indraha. Tasminneva akashe tasthau. Kim tad yakshamiti dhyayan. Na nivavrute agnyadivat. Okay, Shankaracharya is making a small distinction between the other gods and Indra. Other people, they returned. This man, at least, he stood there only. He started thinking about his, failure. He started meditating about what happened to me. So he started thinking about that. So that there he showed some element of Shraddha, some element of devotion, some element of perseverance. So that is what we see. So tad yaksham, that is that particular yaksha, yasmin akashe atmanam darshayitva tirobhut. So in the same space in which that yaksha had manifested, in the same place, in the same sky where that yaksha had manifested, then Indra also, yasmin akashe asit brahmana tirodhana kale. Indra also, where in that same place where Yaksha, Indra was also standing when that Brahman withdrew. So in the same Akasha, so he was standing there only. So of course Akasha, if you want to refer it as, say metaphorically also, if you want to take it as Chidakasha, you can take it as Chidakasha also. Not only that physical space, you can take it as Chidakasha. Then in that Chidakasha only he started thinking about what exactly it is. So he started his dhyanam. All our dhyanam is in that Chidakasha only. So in that Chidakasha, he stood there only. Tasthau means he stood there only. He stood there only. Kim tad yakshamiti dhyayan. He kept on meditating. What exactly is this? What is this yaksham? What is this being? So in that sense, he stood there only. Na nivavrute agnyadivat. Like Agni and Vayu, he did not return. So he stood there only meditating on what happened. In that Chidakasha only he was there meditating. Then Tasya Indrasya Yakshe Bhaktim Buddhva Vidya Umarupini Pradurabhut Sri Rupa. Okay, this mantra I did not explain, I suppose. Oh, I forgot. Okay. Saha tasminneva akashe. This Indra, tasminneva akashe. In that same akasha. Tasmin eva. In the same akasha. Striyam ajagama. So he saw one lady, one woman. Striyam ajagama means he approached. He saw and approached, of course. Striyam ajagama. And how was that woman? Bahu shobhamana. Bahu shobhamana. She was shining. She was shining very, very brilliantly. Shobhamana. And then the Upanishad also gives some description as to who that lady was. Umam Haimavatim. That goddess was Uma. Haimavati. Haimavati, again, there are two names, two meanings given by Shankaracharya. One meaning he says is Hima, we know. That is Hiranyam, gold. Haimavati, Hema, not Hima, Hema means gold. You also know the name Hema Malini. Hema Malini is one of the names for Lakshmi also, Hema Malini. So the Hema is gold. So Haimavati means as though she was shining, as though decked with so many gold ornaments. She was shining like that, Haimavati. That is one meaning. Or Himavataha Putri, Himavan, we know, the mountain Himavan, his daughter is the same Uma, Haimavati. So Umam, Haimavatim, you can take it in that manner, or some brilliant form. If you don't want to believe in Shiva Parvati story, and if you are a staunch Vaishnavite, you can also say it is not Uma, Haimavati, it is something else, Vishnu, Maya. You say whatever you want, it doesn't matter, because it is referring to Brahma Vidya. We are now talking about the Supreme Brahman, and that Supreme Brahman, that Brahma Vidya, in that at the level of Ishvara, then this Brahma Vidya is what is called Maya. That Maya Swarupini, you call it Vishnu and Maya. Vishnu and Maya, we say the Vishnu Maya, we also say. Then Vishnu and Maya, or you call it Shiva and Shakti, or you call it Shiva and Parvati or Uma. So whatever you want, in whatever manner we can say, but then this female form represents that Brahma Vidya. So that is why we also read in that introduction. In the introduction I was telling you about how Shankaracharya also writes in one stotram called Tripura Sundari Stotram. Tame Vadyam Brahma Vidyam Upase Murtair Vedais Tuyamanam Bhavanim. So this Bhavani, or this Shiva's wife Parvati, so she is worshipped as Brahma Vidya. Tame Vadyam Brahma Vidyam Upase. I worship that Brahma Vidya. So Uma is worshipped as Brahma Vidya. So Sriyam Ajagama Bahushobhamanam Umam Haimavatim Tam Hovacha. Tam Ha Uvacha. Ha means it seems he said. It not only it seems, we know that he said. Ha Vai Prasiddhi Dyotanartakam, isn't it? That is, it is so well known. So Tam Ha Uvacha. This gentleman, Tam Uvacha. Uvacha Ha means we know that he said, he told like that. What? Kim etad yakshamiti. So he inquired with that lady, what is this yaksham? So that is the meaning of the mantra. So this bhashyam we were reading. Tasya indrasya yakshe bhaktim buddhva vidya umarupini pradurabhut Sri Rupa. So this Indra, he demonstrated some shraddha. He showed. He did not return. He stood there only. He started contemplating in that Chidakasha. He wanted to know what exactly was that form. Then, having realized that this fellow is now penitent, this fellow has realized his mistake, that his ego is subdued, then this Brahma Vidya appeared in front of him. After this fellow's ego is subdued, this Brahma Vidya, it flashed in his mind. So that is how we have seen that Sakrut, that earlier mantra in this second adhyaya also, say this Vidya it can take place as a flash also. That is what we saw in that last say shloka of the second khanda. So here, this Vidya Umarupini Pradurabhut. Pradurabhut means Pradurbabhuva. It appeared in front of him. She appeared in front of him. Sri Rupa, in the form of Stri. Then Sa Indraha Tam Umam Bahushobhamanam Sarvesham Hi Shobhamananam Shobhanatama Vidya.
Sarvesham hi shobhamananam shobhamanatamam vidyam.
Okay, tada Bahushobhamana iti Visheshanam Upapannam Bhavati.
Bahushobhamana iti Visheshanam upapannam bhavati.
Okay, we'll stop here. Tam Umam. To that Uma, how is she? Bahushobhamana. Shobha means shining, brilliant. And we also know this Raja Vidya, Raja Guhya Yoga. We read in Bhagavad Gita. Raja Vidya. What is it? Raja Vidya. So one meaning is, it is the king among Vidyas. This is the highest among Vidyas. Then Rajate, Virajate, it shines. So Rajate, and with that Sa Vidya, Rajase, that shines brilliantly. So that is why it is called Raja Vidya. Then Bahushobhamanam, then Shankaracharya says, Sarvesham hi Shobhamananam Shobhanatama Vidya. Of all the shining things, the most shining thing is Vidya. You may have a lot of money, you may have a lot of glittering gold all around you, but if you are, when you open your mouth, if you are showing your, say like, what is that Bernard Shaw's play, Eliza Doolittle. So like Eliza Doolittle, if you start speaking, then all your, say, brilliance is gone. The moment you open your mouth, your brilliance is gone. So, Vidya is something which is the most brilliant of all shining things. So, that is what he says. He makes a general statement. Of all the shining things, or of all the bright things, the brightest thing is Vidya. That is education. Education means, here we are talking about this IIT, JEE. We are now talking about this Brahma Vidya, the knowledge of the self. Then, tada bahushobhamana iti visheshanam upapannam bhavati. Then this visheshanam means this adjective, that she is the most brilliant, that adjective becomes appropriate here. So that is the meaning. Then Haimavatim Hemakruta Abharanavatim iva Vatim iva Bahushobhamanam ityarthaha. Okay, Haimavati. So the first meaning he is giving. Hema means gold. Hemakruta Abharanavatim iva. So as though she is having so many, she has decorated herself with so many gold ornaments. And then Bahushobhamana, shining. Because of that she is shining. Ityarthaha. Athava Umaiva Himavato Duhita Haimavati Nityameva Sarvajnena Ishvarena Saha Vartate iti Jnatum Samartha iti Krutva Tam Upajagama Indraha Tam ha umam kila uvacha papracha not papracha prucha, that is the papracha is the past tense of prucha. Then kimetad darshayitva tirobhutam yakshamiti. Okay, so here athava or else umaiva Himavataha Duhita. Umaiva means Uma plus Eva, or else this particular Uma, female form, is Uma Eva. We can take it as Uma only. Who is that? Himavato Duhita. Himavataha Duhita. Himavataha is Shashti. Himavataha Duhita, the daughter of that Himavan. Then Nityameva Sarvajnena Ishvarena Saha Vartate. And then she is the one who is always along with Shiva. So in fact, you see this symbolism also, this is Shiva and Parvati, or Shiva and Uma, whatever, Uma and Parvati are one and the same. So this is the same Ardhanarishwara Tattvam also. Shiva and Parvati together, always together. What we are seeing as that Ardhanarishwara Tattvam. Vidya and then the Brahman and the Brahma Vidya are together only. Brahma Vidya is not apart from Brahman. So Brahma Vidya, Brahmavit, Brahmaiva Bhavati. So this Brahma Vidya and Brahma are one and the same. They are in one form only. So that is what we see in that Ardhanarishwara Tattvam. So here Sarvajnena Ishwarena Saha Vartate. Always with that Sarvajna Ishwara. She never departs from that Sarvajna Ishvara. So that is why iti jnatum samartha iti krutva. So that is why she is capable of knowing, she is capable of telling what it is, she is capable of knowing. At least Indra was sensible enough to know that this female form which appeared in front of him is Brahmavidya, was Brahmavidya. He was wise enough to know that because he was meditating in that Chidakasha. And in that Chidakasha, he saw this particular form, and then he realized that this particular form is nothing other than that Brahmavidya who has appeared in front of him. So you call it Brahmavidya, or you call it Vishnu Maya, or you call it Uma, whatever it is. So of course the Upanishad here says that Uma Haimavati. So he approached Indraha Tam, Umam Kila Uvacha, Papracha. Papracha means he asked, Prushtavan, he asked, Bruhi kimetad darshayitva tirobhutam yakshamiti. You please tell, what is this yaksham? What is this being which appeared in front of me and then which disappeared? So this is how this third part ends. I think the time also is over. 1 or 2 minutes only. I think we can take up the fourth part in the next class. So here the point which we noted here is that ego is something which should not be there. If ego is there, the divine grace is less. So that is what is the thing. Then how we have to understand this whole episode, we will see in the next class, because that episode is still continuing, because that lady is going to reply as to who that Yaksham is. And then there is some commentary by Shankaracharya also. Maybe 2-3 more classes we'll have to take. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.